Hey, welcome in this probably long video about Vim. I would like to make a few videos on Vim, and this is the first one where I'm just gonna show the very basics of Vim. And to do that, the best way, the way I learned, and you should learn, is actually not with this video, but like with the vimtutor command, which if you install Vim, you have vimtutor. And what it is just, yeah, it opens Vim and it opens it in a big text file that is a big tutorial. But I don't know. I prefer often to watch a video instead of reading text. So I'm going to go through Vim tutor today to and maybe add some comments here and there to make it easier for you. So yeah, and before that, I would like to do the screen key commands like this, which is gonna show which key I am typing. Let's see. Let's go back in vimtutor. So here we are. Welcome to vimtutor, and so on. And yeah, so I'm just gonna already do some stuff, but up, lesson 1. To move the cursor, so Vim is a modal editor, which means you have like in a basic normal editor like VS Code, for example, you can always type characters, and the way you move is often with the arrow keys or the mouse. But here in Vim, there is a specific mode to enter characters, but there is also a mode to like navigate in the text, or there is a mode to select text, and so on and so on. But by default, you enter the normal mode, which is the mode where you navigate into text. And the basic movements of that are J, K, H, and L. So K to go one line up, J to go one line down, H to go left, L to go right. And you can see on your keyboard, at least if you have an AZERTY or a QWERTY keyboard, those 4 keys are just below your fingers, if you put your fingers correctly on the keyboard, which makes it extremely easy to reach them. So yeah, it's pretty handy. And yeah, you can press them like a bunch of times, and yeah, it will repeat them. Boom, boom, boom. Using your key down, hold down your down key J until it repeats. If you're never unsure, press escape to go in. The cursor key shows the work. Yeah, who cares? Press escape key to make sure you're in normal mode. So yeah, to quit Vim, yeah, it tells you then because there is a meme. I don't know how to quit Vim. You just do colon and then Q, which will quit Vim, and they show Q exclamation mark, which will quit Vim, but without saving the current file. Get back by executing the command you got into this tutor. Yes, yes, yes. If you have the yes. Yeah, so they show you how to use the X command. So if you're in normal mode, you can press X on the keyboard to delete a character under the cursor. And I just show you that pressing U is the undo. So it's a Control Z in Vim. Mark with this, and then they want us to correct the line by pressing X and the JKL. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, no, there is an O. And yeah, you can press it as much as you want. Now we're going to go into insert mode. So right now we're in normal mode, but if I press I, you can see at the bottom of my screen, bottom left, that there is a big insert. And now actually when I type the keys, it will insert text. messing up, and you press escape to go from insert mode to back to normal mode. Yeah, and you get je suis Charles. And yeah, you can just type text, escape. That's pretty straightforward. Boom. Next, then there is multiple ways to go into insert mode. So I will just, you go in insert mode where your character is. If you do A, you see my character moved once, and then you're in insert mode. So it's like insert mode, but after the current character. And if you press Shift A, so uppercase A, it puts you at the end of the line and in insert mode. So that's very often like if you have a programming language and let's say you forgot to put the semicolon at the end, press capital A and then semicolon to add it. The WQ, so yeah, to yeah, I've another terminal Q. Yes. Yes. So they showed you Q to quit the current file. They showed you Q exclamation mark to quit without saving, and there's a WQ. So W alone will just save the file, and WQ will save and quit. And there is also X which does exactly the same. Because why make things simple? Up. Then I mean I can actually show this, but yeah, no, who cares? You know what saving a file does. The cursor is start shell prompt, delete the character X. It's a summary. Okay. Yeah, I've done this like years ago, so I don't exactly remember what it does. Let's just see. I know there is 1,000 line in this tutorial, so already 1/5. Deletion command. Move the cursor, mark this. Move the cursor to the beginning to... yeah, so they're showing you how, still in normal mode, how to delete text. So the delete command is D, of course, and here they show us how to delete a word. So you do D, W, and you saw the word there disappear. What I don't know if they show it. They show it later as well. So there is here the $sign, and so if you do the $sign, it will delete until the end of the line. But I think you can generalize that by you can do movement in the text with, for example, like if you're on normal mode, you press $, and it will take you to the end of the line. If you do what they did before, W, it will take you to the start of the next word. And so basically what DW does, it's like this movement, but delete everything during that movement. So DW, it does the movement, but it deletes everything. And the $, it will do the movement and delete everything. Why it's important is because sometimes you just want to move it, sometimes you want to like delete while moving it, sometimes you want to copy while moving it, and you see all these, there is a lot of text selection thing, like $, or W, and every time you can combine those with deletion, change, or copying, and so on and so on. And so, for example, use but here the $, to delete the line. Many commands. Yeah, they explain what I just explained. So D is the deletion the delete operator, and you can follow it by a motion. And so the motion W is next word. The motion E is end of next word. So W, you see the cursor is at the beginning of the word. If I do E, it will take you to the end of the next word. And so if you do D, E, it will delete, but until the end of the last word. It may seem a bit weird to have this differentiation between, like, it's very small, like you may think like, do I care if it's at the end of at the beginning, like who uses this? But actually, when the whole point of Vim is there is a lot of shortcut, and you have to like really burn down the shortcut in your muscle memory. And once you got them, I actually use both W and E all the time, and all the other ones. And there is sometimes very minor differences between them, but yeah, it's actually useful to save key press and time. And in the long run, you do save time, in my opinion. Next, using a count for a motion. Yeah, that's so you saw that WE dollar is the motion, and you can do two. You can do just any number before the motion. So if you do 2W, it will, instead of one word, it will be two words. And you can, of course, combine that with D. So you do D2W, and it deleted two words instead of one. Pretty intuitive. Using a count to delete more, that's what I just showed you. DD to delete the whole line, so that's a handy shortcut. You just do DD 2 times and it deletes the whole line. Yeah, I don't know what they want to do, but you can DD a bunch of lines. Why not? The undo command. So, and now, yeah, that's what I showed earlier again, but U is the undo. So Control Z, and let's say I do some changes on this line, up, and then U will replace every time one change. And there is uppercase U, which I actually don't use often, but which I think will just do all the undos on one line. But just remember that U is undo, and you're good. And by the way, I don't know if they show it, but Control R is the redo. So Control Shift Z. So if I do this and a bunch of this and then a bunch of this, and then I do U to go back, and then I go do Control R to redo the change, which is quite handy. These are very useful commands. Now move on to the summary. Yes, already did all of that. The put command. Previously, so yeah, they call it the put, but actually it's I didn't knew it was called that way. For me, it's paste, just the paste from copy paste. That's it. So, for example, if you delete that line, and then you move to the end, and then you press P, it will paste that line, because yeah, delete is like the Control X, so it cuts the text. So it also like copies it while deleting it. And you can paste it a bunch of time, and yep. Next, the replace command. That's quite easy. If you're on a cursor, and then you do R, and then one character, so I did R pound, and it replaced the character under my cursor by that character. And again, you might be thinking like, why not like X to delete, then E, then I to enter insert mode, then type the pound, then escape. But you see, I had to type like, what is it? 4 or 5 characters, 4 or 5 key press. To do a thing that could have been really simple, and yeah, and those little things add up at the end. The change operator, yeah, that's C. So C is very similar to D. So to delete, except it puts you in insert mode. So if I go here and I do, before we did D dollar to delete, but now if I do C dollar, it will also delete, but you see I'm in insert mode, so I can type and can start typing, which Otherwise, I would have to do like $, then I, or then A, which is a bit more characters. And yeah, it works also as always. CE, like delete till the end and put you in insert mode. CW, CW. Go back. Yes. CW is the same as DW, but insert mode and so on and so on. More changes using C. Yeah, that's basically the same thing that they said for D. Huh? So if you put here C to W, it will delete the 2 words and then put you in insert mode, but yep, you already know that. Summary, cursor location and file status. Let's see, I'm line 500. Oh, that's nice. So here they show you how to go to the top and bottom of the file. So if you do GG, you go back to the very top of the file. If you do capital G, it will take you to the very bottom of the file. And if you do a number, so here I want to go back to line 500, I do 500 and then capital G, and it will take me to the line 500. I think Control G to... I didn't knew that actually, but I always use Control G. Yeah, it doesn't matter. But if you press Control G, it will show you the current line. But I mean, you're gonna customize it to always show that in the end, but sometimes can be handy. Hope you're not hearing the ambulance. Search commands. So to search text in the current file or current buffer, but whatever, who cares? You just press slash, and now you enter. I mean, I don't know if it's a mode, but you can see I can start searching. And let's say I'm searching search full capital, and you see it will, and you can move between the occurrence that it found with the N to go to the next occurrence, and shift N to go to the previous one. So here I do N, I do N to shift between the two. And you can do, instead of slash, you can do question mark, which is exactly the same thing as a slash, except it will search upward. So let's say I want to share this, and now if I do next, instead of going towards the bottom, it will go to the top. So you see the line number, we're going up. I lost where, oh, all right, I'm here. To go back where you were, press to go downward. Never use this. So to go back to where you came from, repeat to go back further. All right, you can explore that on your own. I'm actually curious what this does, but never use Control O and Control I. So there is yeah, that's Vim. You discover stuff every single day because it's quite complex. Matching parentheses. Ah yes, the ampersand. So if you have generally like let's say a function call A B C, and now you have your cursor on the parenthesis, and if you do percent, it will take you to the matching one, and that's pretty simple. And if you're if you're like somewhere in the line and you do ampersand, it will take you to the first matching one. And it works with square brackets, curly brace, and so with some extension, it can work with HTML tags, and so on and so on. The substitute command, that's how you do search and replace. So if you say, so colon to do a command, and then you said S, and then just I forgot on which line I am. Let's say I want to replace the word occurrence. So I do S occurrence by hello, and you put like between the first two slashes the stuff you search, between the next one the stuff you want to replace. Can I not spell right? Ah yes, occurrence with 2R. And you see it replaced occurrence with hello. And so that's a bit limited, but because that's only on one line. But now if you want to, and that's only one time on one line, but let's say I want to replace the letter O with the pound symbol, it will like only replace the first O. But if you want that to happen to every single O in the line, you do G, which will change all of them. And now if you want to replace all the O's in all the lines by the pound, but in all the files, all the lines in the file, you put an ampersand before the S. And here you have a complete mess, which I will undo quickly. Forgot where I was. No, it's here. And they show you here the thing. Apparently you have also a C to like validate if you want to replace it or not, but never used it. And yeah, let's see. Summary, yes. How to execute an external command. So for that, yeah, it's very simple. You do colon, then exclamation mark, and then the command you want to run like this. And yeah, it executes the command, and then you press enter to go back to the editor, and that's it. And I will add something to make that feature more useful. Is in that command you can at any point, let's say I want to stats, and you can put a percent, and the percent will be replaced by the current file name. So if you want to run a command on the current file name, it's quite handy to know that. And yeah, of course, my screen key thing is hiding it, but you see that vimtutor is actually a temporary file, and it runs the command on that file. Yeah, you press enter to finish a vim command. So yeah, Q, then enter to quit, and same thing for colon exclamation mark. Writing a file, more writing file. Ah yes, they explain, I already told you that you can write the current file, but you can also do write with test foo, and it will write it to, actually I can do this to cat test.foo, and you see it wrote everything in the test.foo file. Then that's it. Yes, that's it, I think. Selecting text to write. Yes, so that's the third mode we're gonna see. You press V. So let's say you have your cursor here, then you press V, and then you just move, and you see it's selecting text. And again, you can reuse the D or C command. So if you want to delete that text, you just press D, and it will delete it. And it also pastes data, of course. And if you press V, you can reuse all the movement you've learned. So if you want to like go to the end of the line, you do $, and it will just select it till the end of the line. And you can keep going, and so on and so on. And you can do V and W to go to the next word, and so on and so on. I think V in itself is, yeah, it's useful, but what I most often use is Shift V, so uppercase V, which is also visual mode, but it's line by line. So it doesn't matter where my cursor is, and you can just select a bunch of lines, delete them, paste them somewhere else, and that's very useful. And you can also, since you saw the search and replace from just before, you can also select the text, then go in a command with a colon, and you see it added some like weird angle brackets. But if you do the S and here you do the replace O by the pound everywhere, you see it replaced the O by this, but only on the lines you selected. Retrieving and merging files. Place the cursor just above this line. Yeah. So you can actually insert a file at the current position. So it's yeah, it's quite handy if you have like a JSON file, but you want to actually put it in a variable. You can read the file in the current thing, or like concatenate files together or stuff like that. I use it sometimes. So let's see. Let's say I want to put Etsy shells here, and you see it put the content of that file here. And also, yes, that's actually very handy. If you want to get like a list of files in a list or something, and you want them in your file, you just do air, exclamation mark, and then the command you want to run, and it will put the output of that command where you currently are in the text. So it puts the output of ls in the current buffer, yeah, at the current position. Summary, dir, del, yes, vim, yeah, we saw all that. The open command, yeah, that's pretty easy. I told you before that you can go in insert mode with I, but you can also go in insert mode with A, which takes you at the end of the line and insert mode, and you can have the O, which will create a new line and put you in insert mode. And you can do uppercase O, so Shift O, to do the same thing, but one line above instead of one line below. Next. That I already explained. Press E. Yes. Lowercase a, yeah, I already explained. So AI and uppercase A. Yes. So that's the fourth mode, which is a bit less useful, but sometimes it's nice. Which is, it's like kinda visual mode, but like it replaces. I mean, no, it's not like visual mode. It's like insert mode, but you replace all the text you write. So I mean, let me just show you. So if you do Shift R, uppercase R, it's replace mode, and then if you type hello, it will start removing all the text while you write. And you press escape to go back. Next, copy and paste. So I already showed you how to paste. I'm not sure why they are showing this. So yeah, if you like delete this, so copy it and then P, it will paste it. And the way you copy something, just copy without removing, is Y. And you can guess, if you know that DD deleted a line, you can guess that YY will just copy a line. Oh, I actually just this, and then it copies a line. And you can combine all the movement you just saw. So YW will copy this word, and then you can have a bunch of this. And why is it the Y letter? It's because of yank, which I've only ever heard that word in Vim. So, but yeah, that's how it is. I guess C was already taken for change, so that's what we got. Set options, substitute. Yes. So I think they're introducing like the options of Vim, so you can have actually a vimrc file, so a settings file, and in this you often have so it's a set command, and here they're showing like HL search, which will highlight the search. So yeah, now I've searched for O, but if I search for ignore, it will show all the ignore. And if I show some garbage, it won't show anything. And you can, that's how I showed the number. I set number, and you have the weird thing that everybody likes but me, which is set relnum, set relative number, which shows you the current line, but also the number of lines below and down. And yeah, that can be useful if you use the numbers, but I don't like it. And to unset an option, that's a good way to show it. You just say no and then the name of the option. Set no relative number. And it goes back. Oh, to open a line, and yeah, that's the summary. Yes, very important, the Vim help. Because, of course, like I just showed you a ton of stuff and you're not gonna remember it. But Vim has actually very good documentation, which you can access from the editor, where you just do colon help, and then let's say I want more information on W, and it opens something from you, and it shows you like W counts the word forward to, so it explains that it's a motion and so on. And here you can actually read that there is another capital W and so on and so on. And you see that, yeah, they're all detailed here. And yeah, it's pretty detailed explanation for all of it. So it's like the commands are obscure, but the documentation is great. So makes it a bit better. So help. Next, yeah, if you want to edit a file, so change the current file to another file, use the E command. You want to read that I already showed you, I think. Ah, no, they're showing you how to do a vimrc. So yeah, you can put like a bunch of commands in the vimrc file to customize your Vim experience. So actually, I don't think it works with vimtutor, but I'll show you that in a next video, I think, and how to add plugins to this old mess. Because we love the motion, but goddammit, there is some stuff that is quite outdated. Completion. Yes, so Vim has, I think, built-in completion, so yeah, if you write something like if you test, and then if you do TE and then Control P, it will it has a bunch of words you can and you can cycle through them. But yeah, I think there is better ways to do this, but you can do Control P if you want. It works with basic stuff. Summary. Yeah, they also show you. I mean, I didn't show this because I read like diagonally this text, but you can have multiple splits in Vim, and the way you do this is SP, and then let's say again the good let's see shells, and then it opens a split. And to navigate between the splits, you do Control WW, and now I'm in the other one. Control WW, I'm in this one. And so that's a horizontal split, but you can do a vertical split with VSP. And let's do shells. Yeah, I don't have any. Let's do t.zig. I think I have a file like this. And you see it opens a vertical one. And you do colon Q to quit them. You're back to the main one. And that's it. So yeah, I think I ran through that pretty quickly, but hopefully, yeah, I didn't want to make it too boring. But yeah, hopefully the first video of a series of video on Vim, because it's a great text editor, and he made me save a lot of time and reconsider my workflow a lot. So yeah, hopefully you pick it up, and if you're like a very strong proponent of VS Code or IDEs, maybe learning the basics of Vim is a good idea when you're on a server and you have nothing but Vim. I mean, you have Nano, but like, who wants to use Nano? And yeah, that's it. Have a nice evening, I guess. See you.